keep it rolling. It's hard to ask him to do any more than he has done, especially in the month of May. When he was 5-0 with a 1.50 earned run average. He will not be overworked this year. David Dombrowski, also Jim Leland, they want to keep his innings down, so he will not go much more than 100 pitches, and love the support. Over 7 runs a game run support for the youngster out there, and boy, he's made the best of them. Let's take a look at the Tigers defense presented by your Chrysler and Jeep Superstores. You've got the young legs in the outfield with Anderson, Granderson, and Thomas. You've got Brandon Inge at third, Santiago at short, Polanco, Cabrera. They round out the right side of the infield. Gerald Laird behind the dish, and we told you that Rick Porcello is towing the rubber once again here tonight.
Now about Porcello as we head into the month of June, looking for his 7th victory of the year.
He's special. As I said, real cool, calm, and collected. 6-3 record. Outstanding earned run average. The league hitting just .238 against him. And when he's throwing strikes, that sinker ball can be lethal to right-handed hitters.
Well, he is ready to go to work, and so are we. 63 degrees our game time temperature. A little crisp here tonight, but clear skies. And a little bit of a breeze as Dustin Pedroia stands in. And here we go. First pitch of the ball game is up high to Pedroia, 1-0. He'll be followed by J.D. Drew and then Kevin Youkilis. Couple of homers this year for the reigning AL MVP, 326 average. Lines one toward left field. That ball is down. Going to be extra bases. Anderson goes over to cut it off. Pedroia is on his way to second. He's in with a stand-up double.
He can rake. That much is for sure. And last year, the MVP in the American League with a ton of doubles. And here's the ball that's up in the strike zone. Now, this is an area where Porcello can't afford to live, especially against a guy like Pedroia who loves to swing the stick and has tremendous hand-eye coordination. And he was thinking 2 as soon as he left the batter's box.
54 doubles last year for Pedroia.
You talked about the fact that he's leading off now. Terry Francona just made that switch a couple of days ago when he took Ellsbury out of the leadoff spot and inserted Pedroia. And they probably had one of their better offensive games on Sunday.
Well, he's led it off with a double here tonight, and now he has set up J.D. Drew, their right fielder.
There's Terry.
The 0-1 is lifted foul back out of play, 0-2.
Obviously, in this situation with nobody out and Drew being a left-handed hitter, he'll be trying to pull something to Polanco, even with 2 strikes.
Drew batting .248, has power, 7 home runs this year. They elevate it, but way too high with the fastball, 1-2.
You know, I was looking at a couple of numbers on Porcello before the game, and he holds right-handed batters to a 184 batting average, but left-handers hit him at a 317 clip. He'll need to mix in some more of those changeups as he continues to mature in the big leagues.
That's pulled on the ground and through into center field. Pedroia rounding third. They're going to send him home, and he will score. Back-to-back hits for the Red Sox. Double by Pedroia, single by Drew, and it's 1-0 Boston.
It was, as I told you, this will be his toughest test since the end of April when the Yankees beat up on him, and they had 6 runs against Porcello. He didn't last very long in that ball game. As a matter of fact, just 3 2/3, and that's a nice job of hitting by Drew. Simply trying to give himself up for the good of the team to get Pedroia to third base, but he was rewarded with a base hit and an RBI.
And it's his 24th RBI of the season. Still nobody out, and here is the ultra dangerous Kevin Youkilis with his very gaudy 366 batting average.
Pedroia and Youkilis very seldom swing at the first pitch. And Pedroia took the first pitch, and so did Youkilis here in the first inning.
Good pickup by Laird.
And really, you only do that if you have tremendous hand-eye coordination, which Pedroia does, or if you're like Youkilis, you're not afraid to hit with 1 strike or 2 strikes.
Well, he leads with a .478 on-base percentage. That is first in the majors, not just the American League. And this Red Sox team as a whole leads the AL in on-base percentage, tied for first actually. Lifted in the air, slicing, and foul.
Well, this kind of validates that point you're talking about right now, partner. These guys have some really good batting average, but take a look at that second point there. On base percentage, . 416, and .415. Yeah, that's a lot of base runners.
And they already have 2 tonight with nobody out. Euclid's with that very unique stance. Hits this one on the ground left side. Inge will fire to second one. Here comes the relay. Got him at first base. A 5-4-3 double play just in the nick of time for Porcello.
It's one of the things that I like about a guy like Porcello. There's been some starts that he's been out there where he's had to pitch in a little bit of stress. But he always seems to make the pitch that he needs to make. And Brandon kind of running towards second. Didn't have a good handle on that ball, but he still kind of gave Polanco a firm throw. And we know Polanco is one of your better double play turners in the American League.
So the bases are empty now with 2 outs. Here is Jason Bay. Bay at 288 leads the team with 15 home runs this year.
I was talking to some people from Boston today, and Jason Bay is better than they thought he was when they got him last year in that Manny Ramirez deal. They did not know he was as good a player as he has been for a year in their uniform.
I think they thought he was a solid major leaguer, but his numbers have been outstanding with Boston. 49 RBIs this year. And his 15 home runs are 3rd in the American League. Ooh, he was late on that pitch. 2-2. Well, when you trade a guy like Manny Ramirez, you figure it's going to leave somewhat of a hole in your lineup regardless of who you get back. But Bay has filled in admirably and beyond that. And there is a ball that just missed. Where was that? Porcello thought he had strike 3 there. Just a touch outside. Swing and a miss. There's strike 3. Got him on strikes. And that's all for the Red Sox. They get a run. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first. Boston in the lead as we head to the bottom of the first inning here in the Motor City. Good to be back home. And here is the Tigers starting lineup. Clete Thomas leads it off in right field. Placido Polanco at second base. Maglio DHing tonight. Cabrera cleaning up at first. Then you've got Curtis Granderson in center field. Pretty good numbers against Matsuzaka career. Brandon Inge at third. Anderson, Laird, and Santiago are your bottom 3. The Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on the Red Sox. Daisuke Matsuzaka get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, Daisuke spent a little time on the disabled list with a sore right shoulder strain, and when he came off, he was not very good. Last outing, he had 4 wild pitches in 1 game. So if you're the Tigers, maybe you want to get that pitch count up, see which Daisuke shows up here tonight, whether you want to take or whether you want to swing early. But he has been good in his career against Detroit, 3-1 with an earned run average under 3.
Here is Clete Thomas to lead it off. Tigers down by a run as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Matsuzaka was also the most valuable player in the 09 World Baseball Classic.
He was in 06 as well. 2-time MVP in the World Baseball Classic.
Swing and a miss, 1-1.
After the 2006 Classic, he got that healthy contract, partner.
See, the WBC does have its effect.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Thomas has hit safely in his last 4. Here's the 1-1. Well, Matsuzaka has won some games in his big league career here stateside, but the one thing he will do is give up his base on balls.
He does not pitch to a whole lot of contact. He tries to keep the ball out of the middle of the plate with a mixture of sliders, fork balls, change-ups, elevated fastballs, you name it, he's got it in his arsenal.
10 walks in 16 innings this year for Boston. He's behind 3-1 here. And there is ball 4. So Clete Thomas, who usually is very aggressive at the plate, takes his walk.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Daisuke in the ball game tonight. You've got Bay in the outfield along with a very talented Speedy Ellsbury in center. J.D. Drew in right. You've got Lowell, Green, Pedroia, Youkilis in the infield. Varitek, the captain, back behind the plate today. Varitek having a very good offensive year, at least power-wise.
There's the captain, Jason Varitek, flashing the signals tonight. Here's Placido Polanco.
Looks like the Tigers are going to be patient against Daisuke here early. And they're going to make him throw some strikes, or they're going to take their base on balls just as Clete Thomas did.
Well, they might as well, because in 2 starts last year, Matsuzaka walked 12 Tigers hitters. He's already off and running with a walk here tonight. Little looper back up the middle into center field. Base hit. Thomas will hit the bag and hold at second base, and the Tigers coming right back now with 2 men on.
It's good to see Polanco get off to a good start on the homestand, because he had somewhat of a rocky road trip. Did not get a lot of hits in Kansas City nor Baltimore, but that's a fastball up that kind of tails in off the label of Polanco's bat, but he's still able to find some green pasture out there in center field.
Nobody out. That'll set up the 3 and 4 hitters as Ordonez steps in. Maglio had the hitting streak come to an end on Sunday, a 16-gamer. Way high from Matsuzaka.
Matsuzaka is one of those guys, when he's on the mound, the infielders for the Boston Red Sox, they really have to concentrate, because you do a lot of standing around. And historically, when you stand around as much as he makes you stand around, sometimes you're just not quite ready when the ball comes to you.
That one missed. 2 balls, no strikes, although his body language, Matsuzaka's that is, indicated that he thought it was a strike.
Well, if you're Tim Sheeta, you've got to make Matsuzaka at least come a little bit closer to the strike zone before you're going to give him those borderline pitches. And Sheeta behind the plate tonight, calling the balls and strikes.
Now the 2-0. Bouncing ball knocked down by Matsuzaka. He'll fire to second one, and that is the start of a double play. 1-4-3 twin killing. And a runner to third now with 2 outs. So each team has turned 2. Here's Cabrera now, trying to get a 2-out here to tie this thing up. Cabrera batting .355, good for 3rd in the American League. He is behind Bartlett and Youkilis. Jason Bartlett leading the way.
He's on the disabled list too, I believe.
Is he still?
Yes.
Inside to Cabrera, 1-0. There's a strike on the inside corner. 1-1 now on Miguel. He had a slow go of it in that Baltimore series, just 1 for 12. He's been good in these situations, though. 400 with men in scoring position. And he's got Clete Thomas at third base with 2 outs. Got the outside corner that time. Inside and then outside. 1-2.
It's a well located fastball. Not a whole lot Cabrera could do with strike 2. Varitek has what appears to be some tape on his fingers, which kind of helps Matsuzaka see the signs. You can see him also leading Matsuzaka as well, telling him to shake off that first pitch before putting down a sign, and not forcing Matsuzaka to throw that pitch, but apparently it's clear who the leader is out there tonight.
2-2.
See if he gets him to shake off again. Nope.
Good block there to save a run by Varitek. Talking about those wild pitches that he threw in his last start, 4 of them. And almost another one here.
Well, ask and you shall receive. And after watching the video here, maybe 2 of these shouldn't have been wild pitches. I mean, usually big league catchers are able to block these balls and keep them in front, but they were not able to do so. Also playing in Minnesota, where you know they've got those rabbits, and they're also looking to advantage 90 feet on anything that hits the dirt.
3-2 pitch is rifled to left field. It is a base hit. A 2-out single for Miguel Cabrera right in front of Jason Bay, and the Tigers have tied it up.
In my opinion, in that pitch sequence there to Cabrera, they kind of made their mistake by tipping their hand on the first 2 pitches. First 2 pitches, they crowded him inside. One was a strike, one was a ball. And then they went back outside until the count was 3-2. And if you're Cabrera, you know how they want to get you out because they've already tipped their hand, and he was able to muscle that ball into the outfield. It's a nice job of hitting by Cabrera.
And again, he comes through with men in scoring position. Thomas comes in to score, and RBI number 38 for Miguel. Here's Curtis Granderson.
If you pay close attention, I mean really close attention, and obviously these players do because they're the best in the world, that very first time up, the opposing team will kind of tell you how they're going to pitch you, at least for that night.
One ball, one strike on Granderson. Well, Matsuzaka is 28. He'll turn 29 in September. Born in Tokyo, Japan, still lives there. Here's the 1-1.
Won 18 ball games last year for the Boston Red Sox, which is a record for a Japanese-born pitcher.
18-3, yet his strikeout to walk ratio was not even 2-1. He had 94 walks last year and 154 strikeouts. That missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 15 wins his first year, 18 last season. Matsuzaka part of a dynamite starting rotation for Boston. Now the 2-2 with the runner going, and it's a bouncing ball, base hit right field. Cabrera on his way to third. He's going to pull in there, and Curtis Granderson has a 2-out single. First and third with 2 away.
It's a 2-2 breaking ball that stays right around the belt buckle for Granderson, and Granderson not trying to do a whole lot with it. But his bat was sped up because he was looking for a fastball, and Cabrera running on the play. And there was going to be no action on him at third base.
So the Tigers now have put up 3 hits.
And now if you're Cabrera, and I'm sure Gene Lamont reminded him, and that Matsuzaka will uncork a wild pitch or 2. And if he does, you have to score. You have to be ready to score on something in the dirt.
Breaking ball is in there to Brandon Inge. 12 home runs for Brandon, second on the team behind Granderson's 13. Top 2 home run hitters in the Tigers lineup tonight are hitting 5th and 6th. There's a strike called. 0-2 all of a sudden now on Inge.
And back to what I was saying a couple of batters ago, when you go to the plate for your very first time and you kind of see how they're trying to attack you. If you're Brandon Inge, you should know right now beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're going to get several breaking balls in this game tonight. Several breaking balls.
Fastball missed way high. 1-2. Inge career against Matsuzaka, 1 for 7. He's got a chance here to give the Tigers the lead. They've tied it up on the 2-out RBI hit by Miguel Cabrera. Here's the 1-2 with the runner going from first, and no throw by Varitek at a stolen base for Curtis Granderson, his 9th.
Well, this is one of the things that you can do, and when Tech is behind the plate, that would be Varitek. Outstanding game caller. He's the captain of their team. Good offensive player, but does not necessarily throw well. But with the jump that Granderson got, there was going to be no chance for him to throw Granderson out anyway.
But a wave and a miss, and it doesn't matter. A strikeout ends the inning, the first of the ball game for Matsuzaka. Tigers tie it up though as we go to the second. And what a kind of tale of two seasons it's been for him. His last 5 have been great.
You know, his last start of the month of April, he gave up 6 earned runs to the Yankees. And since that time, his next 5 starts, he's given up a grand total of 5 runs in the month of May. 5 total.
Amazing. He gave one up here in the first inning, but he got a big double play ball to get himself out of any further trouble. Lowell leads it off, and Ortiz and Varitek here in the second. Lifted in the air. Foul ground. Going to be a long run. And back out of play. Cleat Thomas couldn't get there.
Lowell's a solid player and has been tremendous since putting on the Boston Red Sox uniform. He's got a nice presence about him. Not running real well these days because of the hip surgery that he had last year, which is one of the reasons why he's hit into so many double plays. But boy, is he a clutch performer.
Great defender. He is 1 hit away from 1,500 in his career. Here is Porcello's 1-2. That again will go foul, back out of play. Well, the Red Sox came in at 29 and 22. These are two teams that certainly will figure to be battling for their division title. The Red Sox were game back of the Yankees under Terry Francona this year in his 6th season. A wave and a miss, and down goes Lowell.
Hey fans, this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, it's a clash of fierce American League Central rivals when the Cleveland Indians visit Chicago to take on Jim Thome and the White Sox. Coverage begins Saturday at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station.
He's got some bad news about Grady Sizemore.
What, 2 weeks, or is it going to be 4 to 6?
Well, I guess we're going to have to find out. If he needs surgery, then it's going to be longer.
Yeah, I read that.
Here's Big Papi, who has not been so big these days. In fact, just a $185, and he has really struggled out of the chute this year. Only one home run.
Sizemore is as important to that Indians team as Granderson is to our team.
Agreed.
It's hard to imagine, sorry about that, Big Papi struggling for as long as he struggled this year, buddy.
Well, here's a guy that averaged 39 homers and 122 RBIs since they acquired him back in '03. So it really has been amazing.
Well, he and Manny Ramirez, when they were together, there was no better 3-4 combination in all of baseball when they both wore a Boston uniform.
He's going to beat the shift and go the other way.
It's a good idea by Big Papi.
When you're struggling for knocks, as Ortiz has, he just simply serves one the other way and takes what they were giving.
Well, not only did he beat the shift, but he also got a pitch to beat the shift with. That was a little tailing fastball away from Big Papi, and he didn't try to do a whole lot with it. But they say he is still the same guy. Still smiling, still signing all the autographs, still clubhouse presence, good leader, even though he struggled for 2 months offensively.
Here is Jason Varitek. Ball one. Varitek at .239, but 10 home runs. He's had nice numbers in his career against the Tigers. .308. In fact, Varitek has 6 homers in his last 11 games, so he's been on a power surge for Boston.
He only hit 13 last year. He has 10 already. And the 13 came in 423 at bats.
And I'm guessing he'll pass that this year.
You think so?
By a wide margin. The 2-0.
It was a tough offseason, though, for Varitek. The club offered him arbitration. He turned that down and then had to wait until basically spring training started before they gave him a deal, and he probably is making half as much as he would have made had he accepted arbitration.
There's a strike called. Varitek now with a count of 2-2.
You see the little late life in the movement with that fastball. Varitek kind of gave up on it.
Ground ball, base hit, out of the reach of Santiago into left field. Ortiz rumbles into second base, and here come the Red Sox in the second.
Ortiz and both Varitek have had the perfect approach against a sinker baller with power. And that's simply try to take the ball the other way. You have to let it get deep in the strike zone, as he does. You can see the bat angle that's created by him allowing the ball to get deep in the strike zone. And he just hit that ball right past Everett. So many guys try to force the issue against guys with good sinker ballers, and they end up pulling the ball to the right side of the infield. Excuse me, Santiago is playing shortstop tonight. Looks like Everett. No, not really.
He might be the only one in the ballpark that thinks so. There's Ellsbury.
You got to laugh at yourself every now and then.
There's Adam.
Give me a side by side. They look alike.
How about a split screen of these two? There's Santiago. Here's the 1-0, and a little chopper hit slowly. Third base side, Porcello slips and has no play, and everybody's safe.
You have to get one out there. Take a look at Porcello. As soon as he gets over to the ball, he takes a peek up to see where the base runner is, and therefore it's almost impossible to field it cleanly. Looks up right now, and he also wasn't aided by the slip either.
Skipper's marching out to the mound right now. Yeah, the slip really hurt him. They're going to call that an error. So E1, and that will load the bases. Well, with Porcello's ability, obviously, to get ground balls, he's going to face Nick Green here, and he'll try and get out of the inning again. He got a double play back in the first.
Really no need in throwing Nick Green a real good pitch to hit right here. He loves to swing the bat, and it really doesn't matter where the ball's at. This guy is very, very aggressive and has not done a very good job so far this year with the bases loaded. Actually, that's his career.
There's Big Papi down at third base. Varitek is at second, and Ellsbury with the great speed at first. Green hits a ground ball foul third base side.
He swings at everything.
321 clip in his last 17 games.
They've had some tough luck with their shortstops this year, Lugo and Lowry.
Yeah, they sure have. It's popped up. Porcello will give way to Cabrera, who at the last second snatches it out of the air.
Look at Cabrera moving like the big cat, Galarraga. Good pitch in his kitchen. He's fisted. Cabrera was already playing in, tried to get the out at home plate, and did a nice job of calling Porcello off the ball.
That's the second out, but a big third out to get now, and that would be Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia had a double and a run scored in the first.
This is one area where Boston has really excelled this year with 2 outs. They have scored 45% of their runs with 2 outs. That's a huge total.
There's the strike call. That is a huge total. You talk about some clutch hitting.
It's the kind of hitters they have. We've already talked about the fact that they have some really good guys with on-base percentages, and they don't panic in these situations.
There's another strike. 1-2.
This kid here is tough to strike out. Good hand-eye coordination. You have to make a real good pitch to punch him out.
One and 2 on Dustin Pedroia with the bases loaded. Now 2-2. Pedroia has scored 30, make it 40 runs now. He came in with 39, but 40, which is 7th best in the American League. The 2-2 is on the ground to the right side. Polanco ranging left. And that is that. So they threaten but do not score. The Red Sox leave him loaded. Nice job by Rick Porcello.
Yeah, he's awfully comfortable pitching at home. The numbers indicate that. But you get him here to Comerica Park, and there's some crooked numbers. hopefully the Tigers could put up a few crooked numbers on Daisuke today.
Well, they'll get their second chance now as we head to the bottom of the second. Anderson, Laird, and Santiago 7, 8, 9 against Daisuke.
He's got a lot of room to bunt. And we told you that Lowell's a tremendous defender down at third base, but if he was to go down in that direction with him playing where he's playing right now, I don't think his athleticism right now or his mobility, I'm talking about Lowell, will allow him to make a play on Anderson.
Slaps it foul, back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Josh Anderson with 10 stolen bases has swiped his last 8 consecutive.
It's almost like a double when he gets on via the single or walk.
Or, as you say, the bunt base hits. The 1-1. Chopped back up to the mound, and Daisuke leaping up to get it. 1 out. Hey, we've got a friend down the field. Where's he? He's got a really good seat in the outfield. There he is in right center.
Yep, he's hanging out.
Now, would he qualify as an extra outfielder?
He would. He's playing that rover position.
Here's Gerald Laird. He better keep his head up. Strike 1 on Laird.
Laird was out early today with Lloyd McClendon, Cabrera, Jeff Larish, a couple of other guys taking some extra batting practice. Just trying to figure it out, trying to be more consistent.
Laird 3 out of 6 in that Baltimore series. A couple of home runs this year. As a hitter, Rod, how does that Matsuzaka delivery affect you? Because he has that little bit of a swivel before he comes to the plate.
Well, what you're taught to do is all the stuff that he's doing right now. You don't really pay any attention to it until he gets up that left leg, and all of a sudden now you see where the slot and where his arm is and where the ball is coming out of his hand. That's what you concentrate on. All the other wiggling and the hesitation and all that stuff. Just kind of let him do what he does until he gets up into that area where he's getting ready to throw the ball home. And then that's where your focus is. Doing a 2-step out there.
Yes, he is. There's a base hit into left field. A 1-out single for Laird.
He kind of hit it like Daisuke threw it. He threw it real soft. And Laird kind of hit it soft, but he'll take it.
When you played in Japan, how many of the pitchers there had that type of movement?
Just about every single pitcher in Japan had some type of deceptiveness in their windup, whether it be the high leg kick, holding it up there, or whether it be what Daisuke does when he's in the windup. Just about every single guy had some of this.
Here's Santiago. Strike 1 to Ramon.
Daisuke throwing more strikes here in the second inning. He pitched away from a lot of contact in the first, but that's the way he pitches, though.
Back to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes on Ramon Santiago. Was hitless in that series against the Orioles, 0 for 9.
Once again, if you're Laird with 2 strikes and Daisuke on the mound, you've got to be ready to advance 90 feet on anything that he bounces in the dirt. And he'll bounce a few.
Santiago getting the start at the shortstop position. Our buddy the Squirrel has made his way all the way to right field now. The 0-2. Fouled away again.
I think Jorge Posada and Jason Varitek are the 2 catchers that I've watched the most the last few years that love to call for and hold the glove up very high, trying to get a swing and miss around the letters when their pitcher has gotten ahead.
Santiago has 3 career home runs against the Red Sox. In fact, his first big league homer came against a Boston right-hander, Pedro Martinez.
I heard of that guy.
He was pretty good.
He should be pitching somewhere, really. He pitched pretty well for Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic, but I found no takers once that was over.
Again, the 0-2. And another foul by Santiago. Ramon at 308 this year, off to a terrific start in the month of April offensively. He has cooled just a little bit, but still hitting over 300. It's been a very fine platoon at short for Jim Leyland with Adam Everett. There's a ground ball hit slowly to the right side. Pedroia, somebody's got to cover. Matsuzaka gets there just in time.
That's a nice job there by Pedroia. Pedroia could have very easily tried to lead Matsuzaka with a throw going to the bag, but instead he ran with the ball for about 6 or 7 steps, and then once Matsuzaka got close, he gave him the feed instead of trying to lead him like a quarterback would lead a receiver. It's a nice job there by Pedroia. He says he's not there, so I'm going to help him out a little bit by me running toward the bag. Now he's there. Now I'll give him the flip.
Well, they just nipped Santiago. Man in scoring position, though, for Cleet Thomas. Swing and a miss. Thomas had a walk, scored a run in the first, the only Tigers run so far. Cleet had that 2 home run game on Saturday against the Orioles. The big reason why the Tigers won that game. And they would go on to win Sunday's game and earn the split. That's going to get away. To the backstop it goes, and Laird will head to third.
That could be a pass ball.
They called it a wild pitch.
Looked like he could have caught it. Sure could have.
6 wild pitches this year now for Matsuzaka. And Laird 90 feet closer now to home plate.
We need another one of those about right now.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Was that just me, or did it look like he could have caught that ball on the fly?
I'm with you. I thought that definitely could have been a pass ball. And as you pointed out, in the game that he had, what, 4 of them, a couple of them might have been or should have been blocked. A little outside now, 2-2 on Thomas. Red Sox got a run in the first. Tigers answered. Detroit batting here in the bottom of the second. And slow, methodical Daisuke Matsuzaka working here in the second inning. Polanco awaiting his turn on deck. Two and two. The count stays on Cleet Thomas.
You know what's funny, though? I watched Daisuke, and I probably saw all 3 of his starts in the World Baseball Classic. And in those starts, he just attacks the strike zone, strike after strike, lots of confidence, real good mound presence. But for whatever reason, when he runs into a good hitting team at this level, he picks on the corners way too often.
And there is another walk to Cleet Thomas.
And I'm sure the Boston Red Sox have witnessed as much. He was 3-0 in the World Baseball Classic against some good teams.
Wait a minute, they're calling it back. That apparently was not a walk.
Oh, Cleet trying to steal one.
He got all the way to first base.
I see you, Cleet.
Tim Cheetah saying, where are you going? It is 3-2 according to the home plate umpire. So hold everything. And he strikes him out. Tipped it into the glove for strike 3. So that's a big turn of events. Tigers get a runner to third. Strand man. We go to the top of the third. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Trust us, will make you happy. You came in. That's a promise. AT&T, your world delivered. And by Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Even the squirrels in Exmo. They finally were able to chase him out of the ballpark, and he's going to take up residence now in the bushes out beyond the center field wall. So he's safe and sound back there, we presume. I guess he's gassed. It took him about a year and a half to get to that point. He's just out of gas.
Not a care in the world. May have the best seat in the house.
There's a drive to center field. Base hit for J.D. Drew, who leads off the third with a single. And the Red Sox now already have 5 hits.
And on the majority of those hits, the two-seam fastball, the tailing fastball that Porcello brings with him on most nights, he has gotten up in the strike zone, and that's why they've been able to center some of the balls.
There's Kevin Youkilis. He knocked into that double play back in the first inning. Youkilis had a couple of home runs on Sunday against Toronto. He has hit 9 now this year.
He's a good player. He is a really good baseball player. Puts up good numbers.
And because of that, the Red Sox have decided to tie him up 4-year deal in January. Good pitch right at the knees, sinker that drops in for a strike. 1-1.
He himself played in the World Baseball Classic as well, the starting first baseman for the United States, along with Pedroia, who was the starting second baseman, and we've already told you that Daisuke pitched for Japan. When you have a good team, you're going to lose a lot of your players.
Youkilis spent some time on the disabled list with an oblique strain last month, the month of May. Huge part of their offense came in batting .366, and there's a strike in the outer edge. 2-2 on Youkilis.
It's almost like Youkilis may have been sitting on something soft there. 2-1 count, may have been looking for a breaking ball and took a fastball right down the middle.
Fouled it off. We'll stay alive.
Yeah, Youkilis has got that unorthodox stance. He kind of starts with the right hand up on the bat. With each kind of turn, he just inches his way down until the hands connect, and then kind of decides what he's going to do. You wouldn't teach this at home. This is not how you teach it, but it works for him. He can rake.
Popped it up. Cabrera wants it, and he'll take it. Youkilis is out. He's 0 for 2, 1 gone. Good to keep him off the bases. Now the cleanup man, Jason Bay. Porcello had to pitch out of some trouble in the second. They loaded him up against him with a couple of hits and an error, but he got a pop up and a ground out. Bay is strikeout victim back in the first, and he looks at a strike. 0-1. I was talking to Rick the other day about his potential college choices. Obviously, he signed with the Tigers instead of going to college. He was going to go to North Carolina, but he also said that Virginia and Vanderbilt were in on him. There's a high, towering drive to left. This one might go, and it will. Way back out of there. It clears the bullpen. It's a 2-run shot for Jason Bay.
He hits a lot of his home runs like that. It's almost like they've got another gear once the balls get up in the air. And what a first half he's off to. That's a breaking ball that's hanging, and a lot of times those don't get to the catcher's glove.
Bay knew it was out immediately. Handing out a souvenir, and it's now 3-1 Boston. That'll bring up Mike Lowell. Home run number 16 for Bay. Lowell gets acquainted with the dirt.
Two-seam fastball got away from him. No intent with that pitch.
Two balls, one strike. Lowell, a strikeout victim in the second. Pulls this one on the ground to short, under the glove of Santiago, and off his glove. And Lowell is safe. Hit it hard, but Santiago off to his left looked like he was going to make the play. So what should have been out number 2.
On most nights, Santiago does make this play, just did not get the glove down. And therefore, when the ball hit the glove, it wasn't all that firm and hit it right off the front part of the glove and just kind of bent it, and the ball got through it.
It's an error, the second of the game now for the Tigers. E6.
That is something the Tigers have not been doing a lot of, and that's making errors. And you most definitely cannot do that against Boston. You cannot give these guys extra outs.
David Ortiz singled the other way. Back in the second, he is 1 for 1. 6 hits for the Red Sox, 2 errors for the Tigers. Big swing and a miss, 1-1.
Good pitch, good changeup. That's the pitch you need to keep the left-handers off your fastball. Real good location as well.
This is the 7th straight game now that Ortiz is batting 6th in the Boston lineup. Pull to first base. Cabrera tags the bag 1. They'll get the runner in a rundown now as Lowell will try and keep it going. Cabrera runs him back, and Inge will finally make the tag for the double play. Second one turned tonight by the Tigers, but the Red Sox get 2 and they lead 3-1. One as we play in the third, and this game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. The 2-run homer by Jason Bay has given the Red Sox the advantage. Porcello and the Tigers down by a pair, and that'll bring up Placido Polanco here in the third for the Tigers. As they bat, it'll be Polanco, Ordonez, and Cabrera. Bay's home run, the difference, breaking a 1-1 tie. Polanco had a single back in the first. And strike 1 to Placido. Matsuzaka gave up a walk, a single, and a couple of more base hits in that first inning, leading to a Tigers run. Might have been a huge inning had it not been for a double play. A little bit outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Last year, Matsuzaka was 2-0 with a 0.77 ERA in a couple of starts against the Tigers. A much heralded right-hander from Japan. Of course, well documented how much the Red Sox had to pay just to be able to talk with Matsuzaka, eventually signing him to a contract. And the 1-2. A little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He got him. Strike 3. Polanco doesn't fan all that often. He thought it was a little bit outside, but that is the 3rd strikeout for Matsuzaka.
Probably a little bit too close to take with 2 strikes.
Here's Ordonez. Maglio hit into a double play. Hit one right back to Matsuzaka back in the 1st inning. Now 1 for 10 career against Daisuke. That is line to right field, base hit. Maglio goes the other way and has another Tigers hit. 1 on and 1 out. Well, after the final pitch, stay tuned for Tigers Live with exclusive post-game comments from skipper Jim Leyland, highlights from the game, and a preview of the upcoming action. Tigers Live presented by your local Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge dealers immediately after the game, but it's right here on Fox Sports Detroit. I hope you'll stick around. Now Cabrera, the tying run at the plate here in a 3-1 ball game. Miguel Rod had a decent series against Kansas City, but really struggled in that Baltimore series. In fact, he was 1 for 12. Was there anything that you saw in that series that the Orioles were able to do to quiet him down?
Well, really, the Orioles pitched some pretty good baseball against the Tigers overall in that series. They saw 3 starters they'd never seen before. And Cabrera was just one of those guys that on occasion we've seen this year where he'll go out of the strike zone a little bit, trying to do too much. And I think every now and then he'll try to catch up with that ball that's off the plate inside, and it's really an unhittable pitch. And the next thing you you worked yourself into a 1 for 12 slump.
Had a big 2-out hit here tonight, though, to put the Tigers on the board. He lines this one to the second baseman, Pedroia, who's going to turn this one into a double play. A rocket to Dustin Pedroia, and Ordonez was doubled up. Still 3-1 Boston.
awfully hard, and you could have hung some laundry on this clothesline. Absolute seed. Don't know where Maglio was going. In the infield, less than 2 outs. Ball hit on the line. You got to get back to the base, and Maglio was headed towards second and got doubled up. But a couple of really good at-bats by Cabrera in the ball game already tonight.
So the Red Sox still lead 3-1 as we head now to the 4th inning. Porcello back to work, and he misses down low to Jason Varitek. First of 3 between these two teams, Tigers and Red Sox. The Angels will be coming to town after this series is over. Chopper hit to the shortstop, routine for Santiago. One gone. It's Aflac time, by the way.
Duck made it back from Baltimore.
Yeah, he's hanging out in the Inner Harbor. Rick Porcello is the second youngest pitcher to go 5-0 with an ERA below 1.50 over 5 starts. Who's the youngest? Porcello is the second youngest to put those numbers up. He was the guy that did it. He was a little bit younger than Rick. That's your question tonight.
Aflac gave us a nice little goodie bag here today.
They did, as a matter of fact.
A little backpack and some of the other things they give to us every year. We appreciate it.
With a stuffed duck that says Aflac.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It is nice.
Jacoby Ellsbury reaching out an error in his first at bat. In fact, Porcello committed that error. This guy had a big hitting streak in May. We talked about Maglio's 16 gamer. Ellsbury hit in 22 straight in May.
Boston felt like Ellsbury was ready for the everyday center field position. And that's why they traded Coco Crisp to the Kansas City Royals.
Right back up the middle. Ellsbury is aboard with a 1-out single.
Porcello had to get skinny real quick on that ball, hit right back up the middle.
7 hits already now for Boston.
Take a look at it. Get skinny.
Whoa. Look out.
Tucked it in. Well, you know, Ellsbury more than likely will try to steal a base, but this is not an easy combination to run on. Porcello takes very little time getting the ball to Laird, and Laird has been one of your better throwers in the American League this year. And we've already told you Green swings at just about everything they throw up there.
Laird, by the way, is at 43%.
That's real good.
Sure is. Now, the guy on first base has 21 stolen bases.
He can run. There's no doubt about that.
Only Carl Crawford has more than Ellsbury. Reading their game notes before the game started today and read that on Sunday the Red Sox became the last team in the majors to record a sacrifice as the runner goes and the throw is late.
Boy, did he have a great jump. Wow.
It's number 22, and Laird had little or no chance.
He had a great jump. Look at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 3/4 of the way to second base before Laird got the ball in his glove.
So they put him in scoring position with 1 out. Green hits a ground ball fair right over the bag. Inge, nice play. Ellsbury goes to third. Brandon came up firing, and third base umpire Mark Carlson said fair ball.
That's why Inge is a smart defender. There are a lot of third basemen on this particular play that would have come up and taken a look towards second base to make sure that guy wasn't entertaining the thought of coming to third base. He didn't worry about Ellsbury. He didn't worry about him at all. He grabbed the ball, he got it in his glove, and he came up and fired a strike over to Cabrera. And that play looks awfully sweet in Exmo, sponsored by Lincoln Mercury.
Everything looks sweet in Exmo.
Yeah.
Here's Dustin Pedroia. Doubled and scored in the first. Porcello backs him out of there. 2-0. Red Sox beginning the last leg of their 11-day 10-game road trip. So they've been on the road quite a while.
They had a day off as well here in Detroit, just as the Tigers players did. So they were able to regroup and charge their batteries.
Tigers have one of those coming up after this homestand. With interleague play commencing again on the next road trip.
And the start of that trip is a doubleheader.
That is true.
Day-night doubleheader.
One of the makeup games in Chicago.
Chicago's playing some good baseball right now, too.
Chopper hit toward third. Angel will have to charge this one. Off balance throw is in time. Pedroia is out. Nothing doing for the Red Sox. Bottom of the fourth coming up. Still 3-1. Trivia question again tonight. It reads as follows. Rick Porcello is the second youngest pitcher to go 5-0 with an ERA below 1.5 over 5 starts. Who's the youngest to do it?
Doc Good.
Yep. 19 years old back in 1984, the year the Tigers won the World Series.
He was lights out, wasn't he?
He was nasty.
Ugh.
At the age of 19. Here's Curtis Granderson. Matsuzaka back to work. He's been helped out by a couple of double plays in this game. One was a ground ball. The other was a line drive double play.
Tigers still need to display some patience against Matsuzaka. He's not going to give you a whole lot to hit. And Curtis has gotten himself in a really good hitter's count now. Predictable fastball count.
And he pulls that one down the right field line. It's going to go foul. We watched it a couple steps and knew he had yanked it, but gave the crowd a cheer.
Nice play out there by that fella. Protecting his gap.
Without a glove. The 2-1. Grandy had a single and a stolen base back in the first. Tigers picked up their only run in that first inning. Fouled away. 7 hits tonight for the Red Sox. Tigers have had 5. They've been right there with them offensively. They've just ended 2 double plays, and the difference, the Bay home run. popped up, heading back toward the seats. Lowell is out of room. We're talking about Matsuzaka the last half inning and how the Red Sox had to pay a steep price just to be able to talk with him. The posting fee was over $50 million.
Just to talk to him?
Just to talk to him. They had 30 days to negotiate with Matsuzaka, and they came up with a deal which paid him a boatload more on top of that. Let's see, the returns have been pretty good based on the amount of games he's won. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Laced to center field. Granderson's starting to really heat up now. He has a 6-game hitting streak and 2 hits today.
Hey, Tigers fans, turn 2 with your wallet and save up to $29. The June double play. It gets you 2 upper box tickets for select games for only $39 or 2 lower box seats for only $49. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. That's one of the things you have to appreciate about the Tigers. They're trying to get very creative with their pricing and ticket packages.
They're doing a good job of that. Getting as many of you folks down to the ballpark as possible this summer. Enjoy the Tigers, the first place team right now. Pretty close play down there. Grandy back.
I do not know exactly what Jim Leland's thinking here with Granderson, but this is definitely a combination that you can run on. Down by a couple of runs. It's still real early. If you get yourself in a situation where you think you can exploit that weakness of this battery.
Inge pops it up behind the plate. This one will head back toward the seats. Brandon struck out back in the first inning, and he did so with a couple of men on bases. And a chance now with a runner at first, nobody out here in the 4th.
They gave Brandon a steady diet of breaking balls his first time up. And that time, Matsuzaka threw him a fastball in the first pitch. But make no mistake about it, the way they want to get him out is with the breaking ball.
There's a fastball right at the knees, and Inge watched it sail by 0-2. Matsuzaka allowed the RBI single to Miguel Cabrera in the first. Nothing since. Checked it. Did he go? Yes, he did. And Inge is out on strikes for the second straight at bat. That is 4 strikeouts for Matsuzaka. 1 away.
2 straight fastballs. The first one he fouled off. The second one he took. And then he came back with the breaking ball that he wanted to finish him off with.
Here's Josh Anderson. He was out on a bouncer back to the mound his first time up. And a swing at a high towering fly ball right field. Drew goes to the warning track, and Curtis Granderson standing at third base is going to be an easy double play, and that's the 3rd of the game for the Red Sox. No runs, a hit, nobody left. On our way to the 5th, 3-1. Detroit is brought to you by your Chrysler and Jeep Superstores. And by Wellside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Back here at Comerica Park, Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here this evening. Game one of this big three-game series against the Red Sox. The Tigers seemingly have had Matsuzaka on the ropes, but he's been able to get some double plays turned behind him.
You know, they just need to continue to display some patience, and if they do that, they'll get him in a situation where they get some runners on second and third. He'll pitch away from contact, and then someone needs to come up with a big hit because he will allow you to have quite a few base runners.
So the Tigers hopefully able to take advantage of those later on in the game as we move along here. But right now, Rick Porcello down 3-1 as he goes back to work. The Red Sox batting here in the fifth inning. 0-2 the count, and a ball up high to J.D. Drew. Drew, Euclid, and Bay. Two singles and an RBI for Drew, plus a run scored. 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup for Boston. Porcello has had trouble in just about every inning. He's been able to pitch out of trouble in 2 of those frames. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Slowly, first base side, and he'll let it roll. Wisely foul.
Let's take one more look at this play by Granderson when he's going on the fly out to the outfield. What you have to do here when you're running is after the first couple of steps, you have to look in. Granderson waited till about 7 or 8 steps before he looked in. He knew the ball was hit, but he couldn't find it. And therefore, he just continued to go to third base, which you're taught to do a lot of times when the ball is hit and you're running. And then he recognized that, you know, that's my bad. I did not pick up where the ball was soon enough.
It's fouled off.
So you got to take 2 or 3 steps and then you look in. Therefore, you know exactly where the ball's been hit. You don't see Curtis make those kinds of mistakes very often on the base pass. Very heads up is Granderson most of the time.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. On the ground at third. Inge handles another. One gone here in the fifth. It's going to bring up Kevin Euclid, and it also shows that Ryan Perry now is warming in the Tigers bullpen. So it looks like they're going to try and get Porcello through 5 here. 20-year-old on the mound and a 22-year-old in the bullpen.
Well, bullpen's in pretty good shape, and thanks to Edwin Jackson and what he was able to do on Sunday in Baltimore and the day off yesterday. So Tigers bullpen's good to go. Speaking of Jackson, how about that effort by him on Sunday?
Man, he had some of those Orioles speaking glowingly of his effort. Wow. Aubrey Huff saying that Verlander and Jackson the best 1-2 duo right now in the big leagues.
Best he's seen in 9 years.
2-1 on Euclid. Two 2 now on Kevin Euclid.
I know Jim Leland was entertaining the thought of trying to split those 2 guys up earlier, but apparently he hasn't done so yet.
Well, they're both power pitchers, but they're both getting it done. Inside. They want the appeal. He didn't go. Bob Davidson down at first. 3-2 now on Euclid. Trying to think of a duo that might be better this year than those 2, and I can't come up with 2. 3-2 pitch. Rifled foul, third base side.
They've been lethal. Verlander, of course, with power fastballs, breaking ball, changeups. Jackson attacking the hitters as well. Jackson threw a lot of changeups on Sunday as well to a lot of those left-handers. He was lights out.
There's a walk to Euclid. And here comes the skipper now. Looks like that's going to be it for Porcello. Jim Leland making his way out to the mound.
And Porcello has not thrown 100 pitches in any of his starts this year.
So Rick is out of the game. Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back with the and by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Back here at Comerica Park, Rick Porcello is done for the evening. He departs here in the 5th inning, goes 4 1/3, and the man at first base still his responsibility.
He just left a few balls up today. And really, that's the only issue with Porcello. Only 7 hits against a very good Boston Red Sox offense. But the two-seamer wasn't there for him today.
So Ryan Perry now is in for Detroit.
Hard throwing right-hander. 21st game now that he's been in. 19 strikeouts and 20 in a 3rd innings. And obviously the base on balls 16 is way too high. But this young man only 13 minor league innings before making the Tigers 25-man roster this spring. And Boston will take a few pitches.
Driven in the air toward left field. Here comes Anderson over there. He'll make the catch. That was hit off the end of the bat of Bay. And back to first base goes Euclid. 2 gone. Perry has that calmness about him as well. We've talked about Porcello's mound presence, and I know these guys obviously feel nervous when they get out there, especially as young as they are, but Perry doesn't seem like he frets all that often. And Porcello having a chat with the skipper. 2 outs in the 5th, and here is Mike Lowell. Strike 1. Lowell is 0 for 2, reaching on an error and striking out. Perry came into this one giving up just 1 earned run in his last 5 innings of work. 3rd among American League rookies with 20 appearances. So Jim Leyland's not been afraid to use him. He's always said, if I'm taking him north with me, I'm going to use him.
Yeah, he also promised Dave Dabrowski he would protect Porcello and also Perry to the best of his ability, and not overusing them because they are so young and inexperienced.
Three and 1 on Lowell.
You can see if you can make Lowell use the big part of the ballpark here with the fastball, making his ball to center field.
Good pitch. 96, inner black.
Not a whole lot Lowell can do with this.
So it's 3 and 2. Runner going on 3-2, and it's fouled away. Youkilis heads back to the bag. And a bouncing ball to short. Santiago comes in to make the play. Lowell is out of there. Side retired. No runs, a walk, one left. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit. Brought to you by Bell Tire. run by Jason Bay, a 2-run shot in the third. Line drive left field. That ball is caught by Bay, and the runners have to retreat. Placido driving that ball to left field. Jason Bay able to run it down. 2 gone. He's going to take a 2-out hit now from Maglio. And Ordonez has a hit tonight. He singled in his last at bat. He's hit safely in 17 of 18. Drives it foul, back out of play.
And Daisuke has been anywhere from 87 to 92 with his fastball today. An assortment of different breaking balls, fork balls, changeups. He's got a lot of pitches in his back pocket.
Maglio chased one out of the strike zone, and now he's behind 0-2. The inning started with a walk to Laird, a walk to Santiago, and 2 outs later, Maglio trying to deliver. The Tigers got their only run with 2 outs. It was back in the first inning. One and two.
Pretty much all hard stuff today. And by Daisuke to Maglio.
Time he got to 93 with a fastball on the outer edge. Spoiled foul as you look at the pitches by inning.
He was pretty good in the third and the fourth.
And he's approaching 100 now. Maglio grounds it foul.
And the Red Sox know that Maglio's a pretty good off-speed hitter. And therefore, all 5 pitches that he has seen in this pitch sequence have been all fastballs ranging anywhere from 89 to 93 miles an hour.
Veritek trying to finish him off here. Swing and a miss, and he does. The Tigers put the first 2 men on, fail to score. 6 strikeouts for Matsuzaka. The speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Red Sox have the lead here 3-1 as we go to the 6th inning. They've out-hit the Tigers 7-6, and back to work goes Ryan Perry, who took over for Rick Porcello back in the 5th inning. David Ortiz will lead things off. Big Papi to be followed by Jason Varitek and then Jacoby Ellsbury. Got that shift on again for Big Papi, who sends it foul back the other way, 0-1. David Ortiz has been one of the great clutch players in this game over the last 5-6 years. A ton of big hits. There's that shift, daring him to pull the ball, or actually daring him to hit it the other way,
which he did his first time up.
Ortiz is 4 for his last 26. Here's the 1-1. Go the other way again, but this one is going to head back out of play.
Well, here's some of those numbers that you were talking about the last couple of years. 07, 08. 35 home runs, 117. Slowed down a little bit in 08, but he had a wrist injury in 08 as well. But this year, Big Papi has just not gotten on track.
Swing and a miss. Perry strikes him out.
And that's what they've been doing to him right there. All guys don't throw 95 like Perry does, but they have been throwing fastballs right around the belt buckle to Big Papi that he has not been able to catch up with.
And they'll bring up Jason Varitek. One for 2 tonight for Varitek. He is the all-time leader in games caught in a Boston Red Sox uniform, a product of Georgia Tech. We were just talking the other day about Matt Wieters of the Orioles, their great rookie that came up, also a product of Georgia Tech.
A couple of switch hit catchers.
And a couple of All-Americans. 2-0. 13 seasons now with Boston for Varitek. Been around a long time. Perry's 2-0. Three and 1 now on Varitek, who just continues to climb the all-time Boston list in games played. He's 10th on that list now, and it is a storied list to be sure. 3-1 is hammered to the air, foul, back out of play. Full count on Varitek. Ellsbury waiting on deck. Staying alive. I'll just go back to that trade that Boston made to get Varitek. They also got Derek Lowe for a few years. They traded Heathcliff Slocum back in '97 to Seattle to get those two guys.
Boston got the best end of that deal
by far. Slocum, though, I think at that time was a pretty good closer.
Yes, he was.
He had a couple of pretty good years, but nothing like what Lowe and Varitek had given them. 3-2. And he lost him. One out walk. First base runner now charged to Perry. Jacoby Ellsbury coming up. course, the Red Sox battling the Yankees out in the East, and the Yankees just put up a 7 spot on Texas in the 4th. They lead 9-3.
That Yankees team is on fire. They have won 15 of their last 19 games, and that was about the same time A-Rod came back. Teixeira got hot. Their pitching got better. They haven't committed an error in 18 straight games, which is a major league record.
It's amazing how Teixeira started to get hot when A-Rod came back.
Yeah, and there's some people that don't buy into the whole one guy protecting another guy in the lineup and different things like that. But Teixeira did get better.
How about you? Do you buy it?
Yeah, I like it.
I do too.
I think when you got somebody behind you that can do a little damage, and if you're Cabrera, if you got somebody behind you, you're going to get some better pitches to hit.
Ellsbury on base twice in this game, had a single, stole a base back in the 4th.
But the thing that's most amazing is the fact that they have not committed an error in 18 games.
That is really difficult to do.
That's 3 weeks of games almost, and they have not had one miscue.
Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On Ellsbury. 1 out walk to Varitek. This has been a 3-1 game since Bay's home run in the 3rd. That broke the tie. Sliced into left center field. Base hit. Anderson plays it on a couple of hops, and Varitek moves up. 2 for 3 tonight for Ellsbury. His 2nd hit. Now the number 9 hitter, Nick Green. Tigers starter Rick Porcello tonight went 4 1/3 before he gave way to Perry in the 5th, and was charged with all 3 runs that Boston has picked up. Green is 0 for 2. Inside, had to back him out of there. 2 balls, no strikes. Green is a veteran of several different organizations. Atlanta, he's played with Tampa, the Yankees, and Seattle. As Rick Knapp begins to stroll out to the mound. Perry retired the first 3 batters he faced out of the bullpen before walking Varitek here in the 6th. He's fallen behind the number 9 hitter, Nick Green, here. And I'm sure Knapp is saying, look, we need to get this guy. You've got Pedroia, Drew, and Euclid lurking. Pretty much a one-sided conversation right now. And home plate umpire Tim Cheetah's out there to break it up. Skipper looks like he's getting somebody else warming up in the Tigers bullpen. There is some activity down there. And it appears to be Brandon Lyon. There he is. Guest on Tigers Live today.
He was.
And John Keating. The 2-0 is inside. 3 balls, no strikes. There's Pedroia. He's waiting on deck. Here's a strike. 3-1. We're talking about how these Red Sox will really make you work. Boston has put the first pitch in play just once tonight out of the 27 batters. It was the Drew single in the 3rd inning. There's ball 4. Perry didn't want to do that. He walks the number 9 hitter. That's going to load him up. That is his 2nd walk. Now Jim Leyland thinking about what to do next. You've got Pedroia coming up. He's motioning his infield. Pedroia's hit the ball on the ground twice in this game. course, those two at bats were against the sinker baller Porcello.
Yeah, Jim was giving some instructions to all of his infielders. He was telling Cabrera, I want you to come home if the ball's hit softly. And because Varitek does not run all that well, telling his middle infielders to turn 2 up the middle. And of course, Brandon down at third, he makes a decision on whether he thinks he can turn 2 or not, depending on how hard the ball is hit. But nothing can happen until Perry throws a strike.
That is true. And he has missed again. The 1-0 pitch. Now 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, be careful here. A little man will come out of his shoes. And that's one of the things that Dustin has had to battle his entire career, if you will. He's always been told that he was too small to be as good as he is.
He's taken 2-1
from little league to high school to college ball. But don't believe any of that hype. This guy is a tremendous baseball player. You don't have to be all that big to be a real good baseball player. Just got to have a huge heart. And Dustin's got that.
Now it's 3-1. Also won a Gold Glove last year, Silver Slugger Award winner.
Rookie of the Year, MVP. Starting second baseman for the United States in the World Baseball Classic. And he's about 5'7". But he's got talent.
He lost him. Ball 4. He takes his walk. That'll force in a run. Third walk in the inning for Perry, and that's going to be it. Give Pedroia an RBI, make it a 4-1 game, and here comes the skipper. So Ryan Perry will be taken out of this game. And as the Tigers go to the bullpen, Brandon Lyon coming in. One out, bases are loaded, and Brandon Lyon now is the new Tigers pitcher.
Well, he's going up against a tough left-handed hitter in J.D. Drew. And J.D. Drew's outstanding fastball hitter, which means that Lyon may have to throw a fastball, a curveball or two early in this count to see if he can get him to roll over something and maybe get a ground ball, get a double play, and get out of the inning.
Lefty's batting just .226 against Lyon. They are loaded up a run in. 4-1 game now, and J.D. Drew trying to break this one open for Boston. There's your breaking ball. It's a strike. 0-1.
J.D. Drew has had 7 at bats against Lyon. He is 2 for 7 with 1 home run.
Swing and a miss. Went out of the strike zone that time to chase that pitch. 0-2. Drew is batting just a $143 with the bases loaded this year. 2 hits tonight plus an RBI and a run scored. And he pulls this one down the right field line. It is a foul ball. Oh, 2 the count stays on Drew. Euclid would be next. Career with the bases loaded Drew is still only .213. He has 4 grand slams. Lyon is the 3rd Tigers pitcher tonight. Porcello started. Perry came on in the 5th. Breaking ball, little tapper back to the mound. There's one. Here comes the relay. Nope. Laird is going to hold on to it. It's looking like it might have been a 1-2-3 double play, but Gerald held on to the baseball. They'll get the force at home. Drew is aboard on the fielder's choice.
It's a good pitch. It's a breaking ball off the outside part of the plate. Lyon jumps up to get it and gives him a firm throw, but Laird felt like with Drew running down the line, he had no play there.
So 2 outs as Lyon tries to keep it close here. Here is Euclid, who bats .339 with the bases loaded career. And he hit it. Kevin Euclid is hit by the pitch with the bases loaded. Right in the hit. Score another run as Ellsbury comes in.
And this is what the Boston Red Sox team will do to you. They will make you throw some strikes. Only 1 hit in this inning. The rest walked and 1 hit by batter.
32nd RBI for Euclid. Now Bay, who homered in the 3rd, a 2-run shot. 5-1 Boston. They've picked up 2 more here in the 6th inning on a bases loaded walk and a hit batter with the bases loaded. Bay is 1 for 3 this evening. Ground ball left side. Inge gobbles it up. Backhanded flip to second for the force. Nifty play there by Brandon Inge to end the inning. Cabrera, Granderson, Inge coming up.
Early in this ball game, Brandon Inge backhanding one and then coming in and making a play. on a slow roller. Great technique. Plants that right foot. Takes very little time getting the ball across the diamond, and he has a legitimate shot at winning a Gold Glove this year. Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Well, don't forget to vote for your favorite player of the game using your cell phone. Text Tigers followed by a space and the player's uniform number to our new code. It's FSDET or 37338. See the final results post-game during Tigers Live. Brandon Inge leading the way by a slim margin over Miguel Cabrera. Rick Porcello third on that list. Tigers Live with the final numbers. Meanwhile, Manny Del Carmen will take over for Matsuzaka.
Well, we told you they had some good arms in their bullpen, and the numbers indicate that for Del Carmen. And the league hitting .241 against him. And he has 18 strikeouts, almost averaging a strikeout an inning.
Well, Boston has extended its lead now. It's 5-1 as we play here in the sixth. Cabrera, Granderson, and Inge for Detroit. Del Carmen pitched a ton of ball games last year out of their bullpen. 73 to be exact. At a 3.27 ERA. Cabrera with a single, and he lined into a double play back in the third, plus an RBI. One of the 6 Tigers hits in this game. Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball slowly right side. Del Carmen with Euclid covering, one gone. It's going to bring up Curtis Granderson. The only Tigers run tonight, scoring in the first on an RBI hit by Cabrera. That has been it on a somewhat chilly night tonight here at the ballpark. 25,000 plus, almost 26,000 taking this one in with the Red Sox in for game 1. First of 3. 2 more hits tonight for Granderson. He had 6 in the Baltimore series. Del Carmen missing high. Curtis's splits have been much better on the road this year. Over 300 on the road, around 200 at home. But he's helped that out with a couple of hits tonight. Lifted foul back out of play. Here are those splits we're talking about in further detail. 8 of the 13 homers have come on the road. Fastball inside and low. 2-2. Manny Del Carmen, born in Boston, 27 years old.
It's got to be a thrill for him, pitching for the home team.
Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And he has been in the Red Sox organization his entire career. He was a second-round pick back in 2000. Playing in his hometown. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ooh, Veritek unable to hold on to it, so Curtis is still alive. Matsuzaka went 5 in this game. Ended up with 6 strikeouts.
The Tigers were able to bend Matsuzaka, but they weren't able to break him.
High fly ball, right field. J.D. Drew is under it, and there are 2 gone. That's a good way to put it, because the Tigers had a runner on in every inning against Matsuzaka. They just really couldn't get to him with that big hit. Of course, the double plays helped out.
They sure did. Matsuzaka, one of those guys that for the most part keeps the ball out of the middle of the plate. Because of that, he will walk a few.
Two-out chance for Brandon Inge. Strike 1. Brandon struck out twice against Matsuzaka. Here's the 0-1. Off speed, missed with a changeup down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Del Carmen had the Tommy John surgery back in 2003. Didn't pitch much that season. After the surgery, obviously, he was shelved for the rest of the year. And he's ahead now 1-2. Breaking ball and a good one. Strike 3 in the inside corner, and Inge strikes out for the 3rd time in the game. 1, 2, 3 go to Tigers. Lowell or
Hey, visit the official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps, T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get your Tigers gear straight from the source at the Tigers.com shop.
So we go to the 7th inning. We stagger to the 7th inning. It is 5-1 in favor of the Boston Red Sox.
This crowd has had very little to cheer about tonight.
Mike Lowell leads it off, looks at a strike from Brandon Lyon.
The hometown crowd.
Well, the only thing they had to cheer about was that single by Cabrera with 2 outs in the 1st that scored their only run. The 0-1 to Lowell is high. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Back out of play. 1-2 on Mike Lowell. He'll be followed by David Ortiz and Jason Varitek. The Red Sox got 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 6th to pick up some breathing room over the Tigers. Now the 1-2. Fouled away again. 8 hits tonight for the Red Sox. Tigers have 6. Ground ball to short. Ranging left is Santiago. Lowell is out. He is 0 for 4 tonight. He'll bring up David Ortiz. Just about 26,000 fans in the ballpark tonight for Game 1 in this 3-game series. Beckett and Galarraga tomorrow in Game 2. Big Papi is 1 for 3 in this game. It's got to be difficult for a guy like Terry Francona, who knows what Ortiz has meant to the Red Sox organization the last 6 years, to drop him in the lineup and watch him go through the struggles that he's gone through.
Well, Terry said as much. That's a great point, partner. He talked about Big Papi early and talked about all the numbers that Ortiz has put up in a Red Sox uniform. And he said, I was not going to abandon him in the very first month of the year when he probably needed us more than he's ever needed us. And that was good on Terry's part. Terry is very much a player's manager and has been since he's been managing in the big leagues. Because it really took, the better part of 5 months. 5 weeks before he dropped him down to that 6th spot.
Yeah, and I guess there comes a point, that tipping point, where you have to win games and you have to stay in the race, that you do have to make a move. The 0-2 pitch. Down he goes. So Ortiz's struggles continue.
He just doesn't look like himself right now. And I think it's more mental now than it is physical. You don't all of a sudden forget how to hit in 2 months after putting up the kind of numbers that Ortiz has been able to put up in the Boston uniform. But right now he is probably just thinking way too much.
2 up, 2 down here in the 7th. He's going to bring up Varitek. Breaking ball low, 1-0.
I've even read some things where a couple of David Ortiz's former hitting coaches were kind of asked the question, what's wrong with him?
In the air toward left center field. Anderson on the run, not going to get there. Up against the wall. Varitek on his way to second base.
And one of those guys was Mike Easler, the hit man, and also Ron Jackson, who was the hitting coach with the Boston Red Sox as well. It's tough.
It is tough. And when you look at his stats, and I'm sure as Ortiz tries to reflect on this season, he's wondering the same thing. He wasn't putting up just good numbers, he was putting up eye-popping numbers.
If you're Dave Magadan, the hitting coach, you're kind of past the point of all the technical stuff and trying to figure out this and figure out that. And because Magadan was a good player himself, and I think he realizes that what Big Papi is going through is more mental now than physical. And he got the base hit his first time up and looked like he was going to have a decent day, but a couple of punch outs since then.
Jacoby Ellsbury. What's really kind of amazing is that Manny Ramirez is no longer here with the Red Sox, and Ortiz is struggling as he is, yet the Red Sox just keep rolling.
They got a good team. They've got a great organization. They're led by Theo Epstein, their general manager. They draft well. They develop their players. They develop a lot of pitchers. And they don't make a lot of mistakes when they go out there in the free agent market and when they do make a deal.
2-0 pitch is high, 3-0.
Here's some of the numbers that we're talking about that he has put up in a Boston Red Sox uniform. Look at the RBIs and the home runs in 05, 06, 07. Unbelievable. On base percentage.
Yeah.
400.
So it's a walk for Ellsbury, and now 2 on with 2 outs. Lyon came on in relief of Perry back in the 6th. Here's Nick Green. 2 on and 2 out. Chops this one foul just outside of the bag at first. Green had a walk and scored a run in the 6th inning. Perry walked him before departing.
And Green spent all of last year playing in the Yankees organization, playing in Scranton in AAA for the New York Yankees. And this year playing for the rival, the Boston Red Sox.
That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, a few players have done that on a larger scale, like Johnny Damon. One ball, 1 strike. Off the end of the bat. Line will scoop this one up. And that is that for Boston. So they get a couple of base runners. Strand 2. Stretch time here at the ballpark. Anderson. Enough, I suppose.
Well, he was effectively wild today. When he really needed to throw strikes, he has the ability to do that. But until you prove to him that you're going to lay off some of the borderline pitches, he's not going to give you a whole lot to hit. And Tigers had some opportunities, but give Daisuke some credit because he did what he usually does, and that's kind of maneuver his way out of trouble.
Here's the Comerica game summary. Jason Bay, 2-run homer. Rick Porcello, 4 1/3, allowing 3 earned runs. And the Red Sox 6. They got a couple of runs, 1 on a walk and 1 on a hit by pitch. And we gave you a little bit of a preview on who's coming in. It's Hideki Okajima.
Yeah, he's pitching some good baseball this year. I told you about their bullpen. They got some really good guys. If they have the lead and going into the 6th inning, their bullpen is much like the Tigers bullpen. They got some guys that can shut you down. And look at Okajima's numbers. 24 strikeouts in 23 games. And the league is hitting just 179 against him.
They have leaned on him heavily the last 2 years. Joined the Red Sox in 07 from Japan. And Okajima, the left-hander, goes to work now against Josh Anderson. So Del Carmen tossing a scoreless 6th.
That's one of the reasons why Boston's going to be in the hunt the remainder of the year. And they've got good offensive players, and once they get their shortstop situation shored up, and when they get one of their regulars back, and they got a solid rotation, and the bullpen is lights out.
Well, the Boston bullpen has an ERA of just a shade over 2 in their last 20 games since about the first week of May. Okajima part of that outstanding pen. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lifted to center field. Ellsbury, 1 out. Anderson 0 for 3. We'll bring up Gerald Laird. Matsuzaka got all the headlines when he joined the Red Sox, but Okajima in that '07 season was really good.
He got all the Benjamins too.
Yeah, he got a lot of them.
Yes, sir. Okajima's not starving now.
No, he's not. But when it comes down to it, that is line foul. Ooh, look out down there. Everybody okay?
Maybe not. Start calling him bald dude. Was he trying to get out of the way? Was he trying to protect somebody or what?
I think he was trying to get out of the way. Well, let's see what happened here. Yep, and he tripped over the box.
He tripped over the ball boy's chair.
It's your fault.
The ball boy's laughing at him.
I'm going to be on all the highlight shows because of you.
I tried to find a little expo for it, but I guess we couldn't find it. Yeah, I did.
That'd be cold.
It would be. Oh, well. Look at his phone blowing up.
Yeah, there it goes. They're killing you. The 1-1 to Laird.
He has to have some fun one way or another,
I guess. Gerald in the ball game has been on base twice, single and a walk. Swing and a miss.
Okajima violently jerks his head down toward home plate when delivering the ball to the plate, and actually is not even looking at the target, but really has no problem in throwing strikes. And take a look how violent he is with his upper body once he starts to deliver the ball toward home. He's not even looking at the plate.
He is. He's looking straight down, isn't he? That's in the shallow right. Laird is out, 2 gone.
I guess muscle memory, though. Take a look at it. And take a look at his head. No parts of home plate. But those numbers that they put up were absolutely staggering.
Again, that's something you'd probably teach, but it works for him. 2 outs, and now Santiago will turn around, bad right-handed. Strike 1. Santiago with a walk and a ground out tonight. Roy Halladay, by the way, won again tonight as Toronto beat the Angels, and Roy's now 9-1.
9-1. But yet, no one really talks about it.
No, very rarely.
I mean, we're all talking about Greinke. We're all talking about Verlander and Jackson, and rightfully so. And he playing north of the border gets no love whatsoever.
It's in the shallow center, and Ellsbury runs it down. Tigers go 1-2-3 on their way to the 8th. Tigers baseball brought to you by Bell Tire. These guys were as good as it got.
Lights out. All 5 of them. Superb. I mean, simply superb.
Halliday, by the way, tonight struck out 14.
So 27 of his outs, 14 were strikeouts?
That is correct.
I got a question for you. Who gets the player of the month, pitcher of the month on that list?
Ooh, you know what? I'm leaning toward Verlander. It's a real close race, but that guy right there, I'd go with Verlander.
Well, Porcello was 5-0 with a 1.5.
He was, but Verlander went deeper into games, had more strikeouts. But yeah, I mean, look at Porcello's numbers. Greinke, of course, was really good.
Now, who's Jason Vargas?
He pitches for Seattle, apparently. And pitches really well.
He must. I mean, he must.
We didn't see him, did we?
I don't remember him.
I don't either. And you've got that memory of an elephant, so if you don't remember him, I don't remember.
I don't remember. Uh-oh, look at Verlander. He wants to hit now.
Oh, yeah. We're getting toward interleague play.
They took BP today. Pitchers.
Who were the impressive guys? Did you see it?
Jackson and Willis.
No surprise.
Dontrell can really hit. And Jackson's got some power.
So Edwin looking forward maybe to swinging the bat along with Willis. You know, Willis always is.
Oh, yes.
He loves to swing it. Who is he talking to? That is pulled to left. It is a foul ball. Is he chatting with Lloyd down there, showing off a swing?
I don't know who he's showing the swing to.
That time he picked up the stool and the ball boy moved in unison. There will be no second disaster down there.
He said, "Thanks for having my back, young man."
1-2 on Dustin Pedroia. We're in the 8th inning, 5-1 Boston. Roll towards short. Santiago throws him out, one gone.
He is going full speed all the time. Is Pedroia.
You can't take a breath when you feel this ground ball, can you?
You cannot. And he's just going full speed. I shortchanged him too last couple innings. I said he was 5'7". They got him listed at 5'9". So sorry about that, Dustin. He's a fierce competitor.
Well, that he is. That's why they signed him to a 6-year deal last December. Got him locked up. J.D. Drew, the batter. Boston went ahead with a 2-run homer by Bay in the 3rd. They scored 2 more in the 6th. Pulled and a diving stop at second by Polanco. What a play! Drew is out.
That's my guy. He can flat out get her done.
I thought Cabrera was your guy.
Well, it's a new day.
Oh, today's your guy.
Yeah, what's today? Tuesday? Couple steps and a dive. He took the proper angle to get to the ball. If he just tries to come straight across on the dirt, he doesn't make this play. He had to cut into the outfield grass to snare it and get to his feet quickly. All right, take a look at the angle here. And we don't see Polanco leave his feet very often because he's one of those guys that's very smart. He's always positioning the opposing hitters in the right spot. But that time he had to leave his feet. What a player.
Ball outside to Kevin Youkilis, who was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded back in the 6th. Drove in a run, his 32nd RBI. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. I'm talking about the Red Sox tying up Pedroia with a 6-year deal. Youkilis signed a 4-year contract in January. Good breaking ball in there to make it 2-2.
They have really nice crowds in Boston. And every time we go there, the place is packed to the rafters. And they're always trying to figure out a way to put new seats in there.
3-2. Popped him up. Foul ground for Cabrera, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Lyon. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Tigers need to Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849, and by Beaumont Hospitals. You have a Beaumont doctor? Well, the Tigers are running out of time here as we go to the bottom of the 8th, down by 4. Let's see if Clete Thomas can get it going. Thomas, Polanco, and Ordonez against Okajima. There's a bunt that goes foul back to the screen. 0-1. Clete has fanned a couple of times. He's also walked and scored, batting .276. Okajima followed Del Carmen, who followed Matsuzaka. Daisuke going 5 innings tonight. He would pick up the win if Boston goes on to win this game. Okajima had a 1-2-3 7th. Here's the 1-1. We'll head back toward the seats. They're going to give a look, but it's out of play. Pinball around to the seats. 1-2 on Clete. Beckett and Galarraga tomorrow. Game 2 in the series. This is a 3-game set. That's in the air, shallow left. Bay is on the run. 1 out.
Hey fans, place a small deposit on 2009-2010 Red Wings ticket plans for the chance of purchasing tickets to potential Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. You can attend a sold-out game and get to the front of the line for next season. For more information, visit DetroitRedWings.com. Pretty good deal. Maybe you can get in Game 5 and you can get some ticket plans for sure.
That'd be nice. So Kojima is done with Polanco due up. Terry Francona makes a pitching change. We'll be back. Leading it here in the 8th while we have a moment. Want to send out a special 50th anniversary celebration to Ron and Brenda Zilka in Lake Orion. Great Tigers fans. Congratulations on their 50th anniversary. How about that?
Absolutely. That is special.
That is quite a milestone. So congratulations, Ron and Brenda Zilka, Lake Orion. Great Tigers fans. Meanwhile, the Tigers here in the 8th facing a new pitcher now. It is Ramon Ramirez.
25th game now that he's been in. His numbers are really good as well. Ooh, these bullpen numbers are good. Looking like some of the Tigers bullpen numbers.
Polanco is 1 for 3. Had a single in his first at bat.
And they're all hard throwers.
Well, their bullpen has retired 7 straight. Del Carmen got 3. Okajima 4. As Polanco cuts and misses.
It's a nice pitch right there.
He was involved, Ramirez was, in the Coco Crisp deal. He comes over from Kansas City, where he appeared in 71 games last year and was outstanding out of their pen.
That was a good deal for Boston to get this guy.
In the air to center field. Ellsbury. 2 outs.
You know, there's also a group of girls here, Mario, from the Michigan School of Deaf in Flint, Michigan. It's 21 girls. They all stay in a dorm. And this was like their senior trip to come to a ball game here tonight at Comerica Park. And guess what they have to do tomorrow? They have to take their ACT test tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so 21 girls from Michigan School of Deaf here tonight at Comerica Park enjoying a Tigers baseball game.
And good luck on the testing. 2 outs for Maglio. Ordonez 1 for 3. Tigers had the first 2 men on in that first inning, and Ordonez hit a ball right back to the mound that resulted in a 1-4-3 double play. Turned out to be a big play because the Tigers had to settle for 1, and that has been their only run so far. 1-2. Maglio disagreeing with that call from Tim Cheetah.
The Kansas City Royals must have thought coming into this season that they had a tremendous bullpen because they traded this guy away. And they also traded Leo Nunez away, too, to the Florida Marlins.
Well, they wanted to beef up their offense, apparently, at the expense of their bullpen. Did they get the Jacobs for Nunez?
They got Jacobs in that Nunez deal. So they traded away 2 power arms out of their bullpen.
Well, they got a power bat and fine center fielder and a leadoff man. 3-2 pitch on the ground to second base. Routine for Pedroia. And the Tigers again go 1, 2, 3, 8 in the books. On our way to the 9th. The Red Sox in the ninth inning facing a new pitcher out of the Tigers pen is Nate Robertson.
And Nate spent a little bit of time on the disabled list. He had some lower back issues, but those are behind him. Opponent's batting average against Nate just .222 this year. 10 strikeouts against 9 walks. Earned run average checking in at 4.5.
Well, Robertson's numbers have been a little bit better in recent games as well. Nate's giving up just 1 earned run in his last 8 innings. Out of the bullpen, Jason Bay leads it off. Big 2-run homer in this game. He's got 16 home runs now.
He's got some strong hands. He's got a powerful bat.
To the second baseman, Polanco.
They say that the little small town that he lives in, or lived in when he was growing up in Canada, has yielded 12 NHL players.
Really?
Yep. Trails, British Columbia, I believe it is.
Look at you with the hockey knowledge.
I've got that from one of their announcers today.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Otherwise, I would have had no idea.
Mike Lowell, the batter. Trail, BC.
Yeah, 12 players.
That's in the year toward left. He'll stay in the park, though.
In the NHL. Really, you don't grow up in Canada as a young boy and really not play hockey yourself. I'm thinking.
That's what I hear. I know, you know, a lot of the guys that are from Canada, as you look at Papelbon warming up.
Uh-oh. Got some good microphones down there.
He's popping the glove. Morneau's from Canada. He was a goaltender in his youth. Big Poppy is 1 for 4 tonight. Has struck out his last 2 times up.
And Papelbon must need a little work tonight.
The 0-1. Now it's 1-2.
First couple of pitches, the Big Poppy were inside. All of a sudden, as a hitter, you start to guess. You start to think that they're going to try to come back in there once again, and then they pull the string on you, and your bat gets out there too far, and you just can't hold up.
Well, we mentioned it's the 7th straight game now that Ortiz has hit 6th in the lineup. They made that change back on May 26th. And he had not hit anywhere else other than 3rd since 2005, when he was doing so much damage in the middle of that lineup with Manny Ramirez.
Well, I know Jim Leland moved Magglio Ordonez down to that 6th spot for a few games as well this year when Mags got off to a little bit of a slow start. But since then, Magglio has picked it up, had a lengthy hitting streak, and the batting average is getting up there once again.
Big Poppy not happy with that. He has struck out for the 3rd time tonight. Cabrera, Granderson, Inge in the bottom. Last call for the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning now here at the ballpark. 5-1 in favor of Boston. Game one of this 3-game set. And the Red Sox 3 outs away from picking up a win over the Tigers. And they will send their closer in there, Jonathan Papelbon.
13 of 14 in save and opportunities this year with a very good earned run average. He has yielded 3 home runs this year. He is one of your best closers in the game of baseball and has been so for the last 3 to 4 years. Power arm, comes right after you, and appears to have the closer's mentality too.
So Papelbon will take over for Ramirez. The Boston pitching staff has retired 12 consecutive Tigers. As we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, it'll be Miguel Cabrera. Rally caps. They're out here in the bottom of the ninth. Tigers down by 4. Papelbon with that menacing stare in it. Veritek. First pitch, breaking ball, strike. Papelbon is tied with the Angels' Brian Fuentes for the most saves in the American League, 13. He has 126 career saves, which is second most in Red Sox history already. The 1-1. One and two on Cabrera. Papelbon was in the situation that I think Jabba Chamberlain is in with the Yankees. You know, he was a starting pitcher. The ball club had to kind of figure out where he would best be suited with this team, and he settled into the closer's role and has been dominant.
Well, really, after his rookie year, he was a really good closer. And then that next spring training, they were grooming him to put him back in the starting rotation until late in the spring. And Papelbon simply said, you know what, I'm real comfortable closing. And they left him there, and that was a wise decision by Boston. But they were going to put him back in the rotation after his rookie year.
And he has been able to nail down a lot of games for the Red Sox. We mentioned the 126 career saves.
Papelbon last year at the final All-Star game at the old Yankee Stadium made some comments about who should be on the mound when the game is over.
Back up the middle and into center field, base hit for Cabrera.
And kind of indicated that it should be him instead of Mariano Rivera. And news travels fast. And his All-Star experience was not all that pleasant for him.
Well, a broken bat single here for Cabrera leads off the ninth. Tigers trying to find some life here. They had Granderson up there with a couple of singles to his credit tonight.
Sometimes that's all you need to get you going. You talked about Cabrera was a little slowed down in Baltimore over the weekend, but a couple of knocks today.
That is the 7th Tigers hit, 9 of them today for Boston. Neither team has scored since the 2-run 6th by the Red Sox. 0 for 4 career for Granderson against Papelbon.
The score is only 5-1, but it's kind of felt like the Tigers have really never been in the game.
I agree. It seemed like they had so many chances early against Matsuzaka. But it was 3-1 for the longest time until they got 2 in the 6th.
It's going to be a tough stretch of games here coming up the next 10 days. You got Boston for 3. Then you've got the Angels that are going to come in here. And I don't care what their record says or how they're playing when they get here. You know they're going to be a tough team to play against. And Then you got to go and play the White Sox. In the White Sox, that's going to be a 5-game series. White Sox playing good baseball right now, just 3.5 in back of Detroit. So next 10 games are going to be some good games.
The 2-1. Lofted to left. That's a base hit. Granderson with a soft serve out there, and that's his 3rd hit of the game. So the Tigers showing some life here.
It's almost like he tried to hold his swing up at the last moment and couldn't. He left his bat head in the strike zone a long time.
Now Brandon Inge, 2 on, nobody out. Brandon 0 for 3 in this game. Swinging on the first pitch. He got himself a fastball and he fouled it back. 0-1. Tigers need one more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Inge is only 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts career against Papelbon. He tried to hold it up, but now he's in the hole again. It seems like it's been that way all night. 0-2. Papelbon last year had 41 saves for the Red Sox. Veritek was almost standing up out of his crouch.
Yeah, and Papelbon threw the ball down. It's not like him. He's a guy that has some really good command. Real good mound composure. But look at Veritek. He's up and Papelbon fires it down. Don't know for sure, but more than likely they'll give him a breaking ball. Nope.
2-2. Certainly called for breaking ball in that situation, didn't he?
Well, they've been giving him a steady diet of them all night long. And that's the way they try to get Inge out.
Crowd now is trying to come alive here. 2-2 on Brandon Inge. Bouncing ball left side. Base hit. Out of the reach of Green. That'll load the bases with nobody out.
We're going to make that our bell tire pitch by pitch. Papelbon is one of those guys that has an electric fastball, but for Brandon Inge, majority of the guys have given him breaking balls all night. They're going to throw him a couple of different fastballs here and then throw him a breaking ball, but it wasn't located very well. It was up, and that's one of the reasons why Brandon was able to find that seam between short and third. And if you're Brandon about now, you know you're going to get some breaking balls from Boston because you've gotten so many today.
Well, here is Josh Anderson now with the bases loaded, nobody out. 5-1 ball game. And now the Tigers have 9 hits in the game. Fouled away.
Tigers, this team, have been really good with the bases loaded. And to Anderson, no different.
Cabrera, Granderson, and Inge, your base runners. Nobody out of the 9th. Line drive, foul ball. Whoa. Down the left field line. That would have scored 2. Now it's 0-2 on Anderson. Papelbon has found the sledding a little bit rough here in the 9th inning. Leadoff single by Cabrera, broken bat single. Granderson went the other way, and Inge pulled one to left. Rally caps tonight are working for the time being. And he fights off another one. Fastball. Fouled away.
I guess Papelbon has gotten to the point where against Anderson and with no balls and 2 strikes, and he's not even trying to waste a pitch. A lot of times in this situation, you at least take one shot at throwing a fastball around the letters and to see if you can get the hitter to chase it. You'd hate to give up a 0-2 base hit.
Fouled away again. Jeff Larish has moved to the on-deck circle with Laird due up.
Do not know how the rest of the game is going to unfold, but the Tigers are doing a pretty nice job in this game with down by 4. If they continue to make Papelbon throw pitches, he will not be usable tomorrow.
Very key point. And he has had to work hard already and still nobody out. That's high, 1-2. A non-save situation for Papelbon, and he has run into some trouble here in the 9th. Just in case, Fernando getting ready. Bouncing ball, foul ball. Boy, is Anderson giving him a battle. Papelbon has thrown 20 in the inning. 6 of them to Anderson. Another big deep breath. Papelbon glares in. Fouled away again. Papelbon can't put anybody away here. One and 2. And another foul back out of play.
And what is Comcast telling us about Papelbon tonight? He's touched 96 with the fastball, and he's gone as low as 82 with that breaking ball that he threw to Cabrera.
This will be the 9th pitch coming up in this at bat right here. Boston fan doesn't have the rally gap going.
Will you?
No. No. And another foul back out of play.
Usually when at-bats are as lengthy as this at-bat has been for Anderson, the end result is positive for the hitter.
Well, again, back to the point you made just a couple of moments ago. Papelbon's using up all of his bullets here, and you wonder if he'd be able to go tomorrow, depending on how the rest of this inning goes. He has not retired a batter. And another foul straight back. Boy, oh boy, this is a heck of an at bat here for Josh Anderson. He is 0 for 3 in this game, but he is not letting Papelbon have it very easy here in the 9th.
And every single pitch that Papelbon has thrown him has been the fastball.
cleanly got him. Anderson strikes out swinging, but gets a huge round of applause. He chased the heat out of the strike zone. So that's going to bring up Jeff Larish now, the pinch hitter for Gerald Laird. Larish is 0 for 4 as a pinch hitter this year, and really the Tigers have not had a lot of luck in the pinch hitting role, just 1 for 17.
Well, Laird does have some power, but he'll have to lay off that fastball above the belt buckle. Most of Larish's power is on the balls that are down, but most guys against Papelbon can't catch up to that 95, 96 if it's up around the belt buckle or higher.
Ball 1. Veritek tried to squeeze it back into the strike zone, but Tim Cheetah wasn't buying. Single by Cabrera, single by Granderson, single by Inge, and after a lengthy battle, Anderson finally strikes out. Ball 2. There's some activity now starting to happen in their bullpen as a phone call is made out there beyond the left field wall.
It's John Farrell, their pitching coach.
Fouled away. 2-1 on Jeff Larish. Takashi Saito is warming up in their bullpen. See, 29th pitch coming up here from Papelbon. And it's grounded foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Larish.
That was a pretty good pitch right there to handle if you're Larish, although it did have a little late life to it. The ball was down in the strike zone, and that's where Larish likes the ball.
There is Saito. The hurry-up mode in case Papelbon can't close this thing out. He has been a closer himself. 2-2 on Jeff Larish, pinch hitting for Gerald Laird. Swing and a miss, and down goes Larish.
I saw Papelbon in a situation like this a couple of weeks ago. I don't know exactly who the team was, but he loaded the bases and then struck out the side to get out of the jam. And he's 2/3 of the way at doing the same exact thing here.
Well, he's got Santiago to deal with now with 2 outs. Strikeouts of Anderson and Larish. Ramon is 0 for 2 with a walk. Ball 1. First meeting between these two. Santiago trying to turn things over to the top of the order. Cleet Thomas. So we know. Papelbon had 41 saves last year. 37 the year before that. There's the strike call. 2-1. 98 miles an hour. They are loaded up with Tigers. Cabrera Granderson and Brandon Inge. Swing and a miss. 2-2, so Papelbon now is one strike away from getting out of this mess. Two and two on Santiago. Papelbon loads the bases and comes back to strike out the side. But boy, was it a chore for him tonight.
Yeah, living dangerously, but he got her done.
And Boston wins the first game 5-1. Right now we check in with Mickey York for a preview of Tigers Live. Mick.